I know. I'm late on an episode review once again. This episode came out a whole 2 weeks ago, and I'm just now getting to it. Man, what can you do, bro? Y'all gonna see change eventually, but I'm just not gonna talk about it anymore. But this is episode 23 of Pokemon Horizons. Let's review it. The summary for this episode is the rising Voltackles return to the Galar mine and search for the Black Rayquaza. As they search the area, Liko and Roy get separated from Freed and continue deeper into the mine when they hear a mysterious cry. There they find a group of people and Pokemon that somehow completely lost their spirit in Vigor. Meanwhile, Methio and the Explorer companions also arrive at the mine in pursuit of their Rayquaza. So, one thing I really like about this episode is that I like the build up to the appearance of Galarian Moltres. Wow. Spoiler, if you somehow haven't seen the episode yet. But yeah, I like the build up to that. In the beginning of the episode, we see Murdoch. He thought it was going to be a cup of coffee he was drinking, but he actually drunk some black coffee. And the whole point of that scene, the whole message behind that is, assumptions can be dangerous. And that's what basically happened in this episode. Roy over here thought he was going to be meeting Rayquaza. He kept going deep and deeper into the cave, even though he was told not to, and he ended up meeting Moltres, not Rayquaza. And honestly, he deserved it. I ain't gonna lie, he deserved it. Let's go to Roy here. That's what I didn't like about this episode. Roy here was really annoying and obnoxious. Like, oh my goodness. Like, it's like he wants Rayquaza that badly. I mean, I get it. But I don't. Like, dude, they told you to stay put. And, like, the real infuriating thing is that he runs off and then Freed comes right behind him. Like, dude, you couldn't have waited just 5 seconds. He would have been there right there and y'all could have went together. Like, oh my goodness. Like, it's like whatever. Like, it's like he deserves what happens to him later in the episode. It almost feels that way. But I don't like that, too, because he brings everybody else down with him. To the point where Captain Pikachu has to just bail them both out. Liko and Roy has to bail them out and ends up passed out by the end of it because of his actions. Like, I don't like that. I didn't like that in the episode. But most of the episode is built up until, the Moltres actually appears. And like I just mentioned, Captain Pikachu has to come and cape and save the day, even though he tries to hold him off and stuff. He basically holds him off. He's no match for him and gets thrashed. Liko and Roy here. They don't stand a chance, But I do like this one scene where they, just like the miners that the summary mentioned, the miners, they lost their whole spirit and they're just sitting there, just characterless husk, they're just sitting there, they have no energy, right? That also happens to Liko and Roy, but they end up breaking through that. And I like this scene, but, it doesn't really amount to anything. That just helps them, get out of there. Like I said, Captain Pikachu's the real star here. He helps them out, man. He tries to hold them off as much as he can, but of course he gets thrashed. He wasn't really a match for Moltres. On the other side, though, Freed runs into a Methio again. It's been a while since we've seen a Methio, and it's like he never left, bro. It's just like their first battle, man. They got straight to it. It's a continuation, but by the end of it, they have to face off against the Moltres as well. Liko and Roy get out of there, but the episode ends with them having to face off against the Moltres, and that leads into the next episode. But what did I think of this episode? I think it was pretty good. Aside from Roy, I think it was pretty good. But I mean, Roy does get his comeuppance in the end, because they all have to deal with Moltres, so they end up getting their comeuppance in the end. He learns not to be so obnoxious. But I think this episode was pretty good. The Freed and Amethio fight was pretty good. It's great seeing Amethio again. It's been a while. It's been like what? I don't know the exact number of episodes it's been since we last seen him, but it's been a while. We saw him last episode though, of course, at the end of it, but like before this whole stint of appearances, it's been a while since we've seen him. But like I said, I think this episode was pretty good. The next episode looks to be better. The last episode came out a few days ago, but I've not seen it yet as I'm recording this review. But I'm about to go watch it. But for this episode, I think it was pretty good. And now I'm on to the next one, man. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you on the next one.